You're known for being one of the most intense individuals in the gym.
I went to college, I worked out in the gym and at night from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight.
Come on, Arnold, stay. You can stay as long as you want. No, with 15 I already had to pay to live at home.
And this is why I'm standing here today. With the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest.
Well, because I was so enthusiastic about,
He didn't have the best genetics. He didn't have the best physique. No way. Sergio Olivia, come on. Destroyed him genetically.
Well, I got blasted.
And he put it in, not too much.
The Enigma, Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger's journey into the world of bodybuilding is pretty fascinating stuff. It all started when he was just a young guy. At the age of 15, he came across a magazine cover featuring Reg Park, this British bodybuilding champ who won Mr. Universe 3 times. Park's story of hard work and transformation really struck a chord with Arnold. It was like a light bulb moment for him, inspiring him to follow a similar path. And man, did Arnold commit. He was seriously all in. He spent a crazy 5 to 6 hours every day hitting the gym and training. That level of dedication showed just how passionate he was about sculpting his body into something extraordinary.
You're known for being one of the most intense individuals in the gym.
I went and worked out 5 hours a day and I was working on construction.
I put my gym bag down and I immediately attacked the weights.
I went to college, I worked out in the gym and at night from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight.
It wasn't just exercise for him, it became a whole way of life. He was aiming to be like Reg Park and even take on strongman roles and iconic characters like Hercules in movies. But Arnold's journey wasn't a walk in the park. Even his own mom was surprised by his room full of posters of these muscular bodybuilding champs. She was worried about his fascination with it all. It just goes to show how unconventional his path was. But he didn't let that stop him. He understood that his idea of success was driven by his unique passion for bodybuilding. Arnold did more than just build muscles. He wrote books about bodybuilding that became super important for folks looking to get into the sport. His books gave insights into his training methods and the mindset that fueled his success. Sharing knowledge like that really added to his legacy in the fitness world. And get this, he wasn't only into bodybuilding, he had this love for golf too. Arnold took up golf with the same kind of passion he put into bodybuilding. It became his daily thing, and he got to hang out with legends like Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player. Even after a knee replacement, he didn't give up on his golf dreams. He just adjusted how often he played. That shows you his determination to excel and keep growing. Arnold's workout routine wasn't just about getting buff, it was proof of what determination and believing in yourself can do. From a kid inspired by a magazine cover to this global icon and successful entrepreneur, his journey is seriously inspiring.
So I did all of that. There was not one single minute that I wasted.
Well, because I was so enthusiastic about,
And this is why I'm standing here today. With the age of 20, I went to London and I won the Mr. Universe contest.
Arnold lies about overtraining. The late bodybuilder Rich Piana's video resurfaced where he discussed Arnold Schwarzenegger's workout routine and compared it to that of more recent bodybuilders. He mentioned that Arnold used to train for 3 hours a day, twice a day, 6 days a week. He then posed a question to current athletes, asking if there are any professional bodybuilders nowadays who are training as intensely as Arnold did. He proceeded to respond to his own question by stating, "The answer is no." Why?
Because in those days in bodybuilding, there was no money. I didn't have the money for food supplements or anything.
Basically, I'm all about being honest with people, telling people how it is.
He didn't have the best genetics. He didn't have the best physique. No way. Sergio Olivia, come on. Destroyed him genetically.
achieving my vision and turning my vision into reality.
Piana went on to elaborate, saying, "We have better supplements nowadays, perhaps suggesting that we might not need to train with such intensity? I'm not sure. Provide me with the reason." In 2017, American bodybuilder and YouTuber Rich Piana passed away. He achieved recognition as the winner of the Mr. California title and gained significant popularity on social media. In the past, he discussed Arnold Schwarzenegger, including the latter's genetics, which received negative feedback from fans.
I posted something on Facebook not too long ago talking about how Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have the best genetics in bodybuilding. But Arnold was smart. Arnold had the brain like no other. Well, I got blasted. And you know, he was an incredible bodybuilder. And as I believe, because of his mindset.
Similarly, fans expressed their opinions about one of Piana's videos. Rich Piana's perspective on Arnold's training regimen triggered a range of opinions and disagreement within Arnold's fan community. One fan remarked, "And Arnold worked a full-time job. He probably slept for a maximum of 3 hours, LOL, that's for sure." Another individual commented, "Arnold only followed that kind of training approach before contests for around 12 weeks. He didn't maintain that level of training throughout the entire year." Someone even suggested Arnold intentionally gave misleading advice to confuse his competitors, and this particular comment received 421 likes. An admirer expressed, "Arnold is still leading a healthy lifestyle and exercising daily. He didn't misuse substances, and his cardiovascular health was excellent. However, the person in the video doesn't seem to have the same attributes." Mixing protein shakes with alcohol. You won't believe the twisty advice Arnold Schwarzenegger tried to slip under the radar. So, you know how he's this iconic figure in fitness, right? Well, he dropped this idea of mixing protein shakes with alcohol, and boy, did it raise some eyebrows.
I just came home from my workout, so now I do what I always do.
But we bodybuilders obviously use it as a high protein and high amino acid supplement.
And you pour it in, not too much.
Imagine hitting the gym hard, then thinking it's all cool to chug down that shake with a dash of alcohol. Sounds wild, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. Research had already waved its flag on this combo. Turns out, when you mix post-workout protein goodness with alcohol, you're playing a dangerous game with your muscle growth and recovery. Yeah, that's right. Alcohol can totally mess with your muscles' VIP treatment after a workout, making them feel less like VIPs and more like last-minute party crashers. And here's the sneaky part. Arnold might not have straight up told people to do it, but with his massive following, his words can get tangled up in the grapevine. Fans might ask, "Hey, if Arnie's cool with it, so am I."
How do you get the protein as quick as possible into the bloodstream? You're right.
Well, we usually put it in a very sophisticated.
A little schnapps, directly from Austria.
Maybe this isn't the best thing to put in my body, but you know what? They don't even read the label.
And that's where the danger dance starts. Following advice that's not totally on the money can lead down a slippery slope. At the end of the day, it's all about playing it smart. Sure, Schwarzenegger is a legend, no doubt about that. But when it comes to mixing drinks and post-gym shakes, it's best to consult the pros. Your body's got its own groove, and before you toss in a curveball, it's smart to get a nod from the folks who know what's what. So let's raise a glass, but maybe not the one with protein shake and alcohol, huh? Missed his father's funeral? You know, it's funny how our perceptions can be shaped by the stories we hear, especially when they're coming from larger-than-life personalities like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember that iconic documentary, Pumping Iron, that delved into the world of bodybuilding with raw intensity? It's become a cornerstone of bodybuilding history, captivating audiences for decades. But here's the twist. Turns out, some of the most riveting stories in that film were nothing more than fabrications. One of the most talked about moments was Schwarzenegger's alleged decision to skip his own father's funeral to continue training for a competition.
You know, your dad died, and this was exactly 2 months before a contest.
Father was kind of like, you know, a plus and a minus.
She says, "Do you come home to the funeral?" I said, "No. It's too late, you know, he's dead, there's nothing to be done."
Come on, Arnold, stay. You can stay as long as you want. No, with 15 I already had to pay to live at home.
"I'm sorry, I can't come, you know." And I didn't explain to her really the reasons why. And
it was a scene that portrayed him as an unstoppable machine, an embodiment of determination and dedication. The story was captivating, no doubt, depicting Arnold as a man willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for his pursuit of greatness. But the truth is, that poignant scene never really happened. You see, Arnold's father passed away 3 months after a competition, not before it, as the documentary suggested. The emotional narrative of skipping his father's funeral to prioritize training was a complete fabrication. In an interview later on, Arnold himself admitted that he had borrowed the story from a fellow competitor he had met in France. This competitor had indeed chosen not to attend his father's funeral in order to stay focused on training. Arnold's motive behind weaving this tale was simple. He wanted to capture attention, to create an aura of invincibility around himself.
If you want to be a champion, you cannot have any kind of an outside negative force coming in and affect you.
And I think that my hunger and my desire and my fire in the belly.
Therefore, I have to cut my emotions off and be kind of cold in a way before competition.
It's like, wow, this is really amazing, but it took a lot of hard work, but I never shied away from work.
A larger-than-life personality akin to his on-screen roles. He recognized that outrageous statements and captivating stories were the keys to gaining the spotlight, and so he created a persona of an emotionless winner who would stop at nothing to claim victory. In a way, you could say Arnold was like an actor on and off the bodybuilding stage. His crafted narrative of skipping his father's funeral became a defining moment in the documentary, turning him into a character almost as iconic as the roles he played in movies like The Terminator. But the truth is, while he may have missed out on his father's fictional funeral in the film, he did in fact see his father shortly before he passed away in 1972. So, what do we make of this manipulation of truth? Does it tarnish the legacy of pumping iron? Well, that depends on how you view documentaries. Are they meant to provide an objective view of reality, or can they be seen as art forms that shape our perceptions and emotions? One thing's for sure, Arnold's storytelling prowess, even if embellished, certainly added to the drama and allure of the bodybuilding world, leaving a lasting impact on audiences and competitors alike. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.